Hi, we're the Braglio brothers.
And today we're preparing a Texas-style brisket, the holy grail of barbecue.
Brisket is something you take a lot of time and you spend a lot of effort to make it, and it's something you sit down with your family, your friends, and you enjoy.
This takes 20 hours to cook. It's not something you can sear on the grill or put in the oven. So your brisket is coming from the pectoral major and minor. I think it's a great show-off piece to someone to be able to cook this meat, cut it open. When you pick it up, you know it's good.
Well, brisket is the holy grail of Texas barbecue anyways, because it's a very tough meat to cook. It takes a lot of passion to get it right. You want to trim your brisket as soon as it comes out of the refrigerator because you want that meat to stay dense. We're going to work with the flat and the point. So we're going to work and get this real dense fat out because that is not going to cook down very well. You can kind of follow along the seam here and get it nice and smooth. You can save all this and you can use it to make beef tallow. It can be used in your cooking as a cooking oil, cooking grease in your pans. We want to get it out, but we don't want to create a big cavity. You can start to feel the muscle and tissue kind of pull back and just take your time. Some of this stuff is okay. It's still got a little silver in here, so we're going to want to trim a little bit of that off. All right, we want as much meat on this side as exposed to get that flavor in there from the smoke and also let our seasonings kind of sweat in. Now flip over to the other side. What we're going to want is around a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch. I tend to leave a little bit more fat on this end, but we want to get some of this thick stuff off and some of these loose pieces. Take our fillet knife here and trim that down. This is a little bit thin, so we're going to square this brisket up and take this little piece off. We're basically doing a salt, pepper, garlic with a little bit of paprika to create that dark bark and that good color finish. We like to go about 1 foot high or so in that typewriter method, back and forth, just like a typewriter would go. And we're going to work on our meat side, about 12 inches high. We got a good covering on here. We're going to kind of pat it in.
I think you missed a spot right in the middle.
There we go. Our meat has had a chance to rest, so now we're going to put it in on the grill, fat side down. We're going to let this bad boy ride. We like to go that real extra low and slow. So we're going to be cooking this meat to 180 and 200 degrees for the first 12 hours of the cook. Then when our bark develops and the internal temperature of the meat is around that 165 to 185, we will wrap the meat to let it cook until the finished temperature of 202. All right, we've reached that magical time where the bark has developed the way we like it, that nice, deep, dark, rich color. And now it's time for us to wrap it in our butcher paper. We're using butcher paper because it'll continue to allow the smoke to permeate and to let that bark continue to develop while helping to retain the moisture as we cook. Well, now it's time to put this baby back on the grill and get it finished to that magical 202.
All right, our brisket is ready. It has been wrapped and resting in our butcher paper for about an hour now, and we are ready to unwrap this thing and get to slicing. Yeah, look at that. We have the point side and the flat side. Now the grains run differently in each side of this brisket, and we are gonna slice this thing up and give you guys an inside look. And check this out. Look at that.
Anything out of this side as well.
I cannot wait to eat this.
So in the flat, your grains are running this way, so as we slice this, we're gonna go pick the corner here and we're gonna kind of slice this way, that we're going against the grain. And when you're cutting your brisket, you want it about the width of a number 2 pencil or a 1/4 inch.
Now we're gonna be slicing the point side of the brisket here. This thing is loaded full of flavor. Look at the juice come out of that. Oh my goodness, the pink ring, nice smoke ring in that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
And that fat layer in there just dissolves.
Yeah, the deckle meat.
Melts like butter.
Yes, it does.
Tony can't stop eating it.
No,
I can't either. Thanks for joining us on this cook. Now you know where your food comes from.
Our farm to your family.